Yakuza Exactions Kiwami is the best Yakuza mod I've ever played. For those who don't know, Yakuza Kiwami is actually my favorite mainline Yakuza game, mostly because of the combat system and how it improved a lot of the things from Yakuza 0. It's only second to Lost Judgment for being my favorite combat system in the series. So when I saw Exactions Kiwami, my interest peaked. I'm not usually someone who plays combat overhaul mods for Yakuza games. I usually like to keep it vanilla, but this one I was very curious about. The mod was created by MinhGunKiss and it's a complete overhaul of the combat in Yakuza Kiwami. It brings heat actions, movesets, QTEs, dynamic intros, and action sequences from the Dragon Engine games. I've never seen Dragon Engine stuff get ported over to the classic engine, so I really wanted to see how they made this work. Let's get right into the changes. All the Kiryu styles have gotten a complete overhaul. Brawler style is completely gone and has been replaced by the Agent style from the man who erased his name. If you haven't seen my Yakuza combat video, I've stated that I think Agent style is one of the worst styles in a Yakuza game. It's slow, it has incredibly weak damage, the hitboxes are very jank so some moves don't work properly, and gadgets like the cigarette and the drones are not very effective to use outside of extreme heat. This is all on top of Gaiden's combat system already being trash. Agent has retained a lot of its attacks from Gaiden, but the properties have been changed to fit more in Kiwami, which actually makes it even better because now it can reliably be used for back combos because of the double hits from the light attacks, and it's really good at staggering enemies. The Serpent Rocket Boosts are also here, but they work very differently. It consumes heat in Exactions Kiwami, and it is able to cause a stumble back animation which can lead to a wall bound, but it is very awkward to combo from. It was just very awkward to use, and if I wanted something for crowd clearing, I would just switch to Beast. What is really good is the new Stick Bomb gadget. This one is a similar input to the bounding throws from Dragon style, and it sticks a bomb onto the enemy, which can either cause them to bounce up in the air to get juggled, or if they're near a wall, it causes them to stumble back and you can continue a wall bound combo from there. And much like bounding throws, it does cause heat, but this is one of the best uses of heat in the entire mod. Combo potential you can get out of this bomb is absolutely incredible. The fact that I can even juggle in Kiwami is actually really cool. And speaking of the juggle limit, it's actually pretty lenient. Not restrictive like Gaiden, Pirate Yakuza, and especially in Kiwami 3. It's almost in line with Lost Judgment. The Sticky Bomb is one of the best additions to Age's moveset, and it can lead to awesome sequences like these. I was initially worried about how they would have implemented Agent style into Kiwami. I'm impressed with how fun they've made this style. It may have lost a bit of its crowd clearing capabilities, but what it can do to solo enemies more than make up for it. Agent's defensive capabilities are also really good. It has a parry, it has a heat action when enemies are blocking. Agent is just really good in this game. Rush style is more or less the same, but they actually took a couple of moves from Yagami's boxing style from Lost Judgment. It has the charge rapid jabs, the straight punches after you dodge, and it even has the same heat action from Lost Judgment. Combining my two favorite styles in the series was probably the best decision that they've ever done. I already love Vanilla Kiwami's rush style, but this is just absolutely peak. Beast style actually got a speed buff similar to the tank style from Kaido. So now it's more in line with that style, but now it feels more complete because it has all of Beast's moves from Kiwami. As much as I love Kaido in Lost Judgment, he was missing a lot of essential moves from Beast, like being able to pick up enemies from the ground. So taking the attack speed from tank style and giving it to Beast style in this mod makes it feel more complete. It even takes moves like his juggle starter and the perfect guard heat action. Beast overall got a nice buff with these changes. And now we have Dragon style, which was unironically the worst style in Kiwami despite all of the work you had to do to get it to full power. This version of Dragon style is more in line to how it was in Yakuza's 3 to 5. The gear system is completely gone, thank God. The double finishers and charged attacks don't drain heat anymore. The Komaki parry is back to its former glory and even stronger this time. They even implemented the back attacks from the Dragon Engine version of Dragon style. This feels like a more polished and complete version of what Kiwami 3's Dragon style was trying to do. And it doesn't feel like complete dog shit because Kiryu's combo speed is actually fast. I actually feel like I want to use all of Dragon style instead of just depending on Tiger Drop, although the option is still there. This is the most fun I've had playing Kiryu in a long time. I've struggled to find any fun with Dragon Engine Kiryu because of how clunky he is, and he just kept getting worse with games like Guided and Kiwami 3. So to go back to my favorite game, which was the last time I felt he was genuinely fun, and having this modded version of him being even more fun than the vanilla version of Kiwami, I'm just happy. This is the Kiryu I've wanted that the Dragon Engine games have not been able to deliver. One interesting change that this mod made was to the change-up ability. So in vanilla Kiwami, after you do a heavy attack, you are able to immediately switch to a different style. In the Exactions Kiwami mod, they changed the speed of normal style switching to be similar to Lost Judgment's speed, so they decided to give the change-up ability a new property. After you do a heavy attack and switch to another style, it does the heavy attack of the style that you swap to. So for example, if you did the light heavy combo from Agent and then swap to Beast style, it will do the shoulder tackle, which is Beast style's second heavy attack. At first, it could be a little awkward to work with because you don't know which heavy ender connects well with another heavy ender. But when you figure it out, oh man, it feels amazing. The healing mechanic is now completely gone and has been replaced by the mortal attack system from Lost Judgment. And you could even do mortal reversals in this mod. My favorite one is the rush one because it can actually lead to a wall bound combo, which means you could do cool stuff like this. The last thing I want to talk about are the changes they made to the boss fights. A lot of boss fights did get new dramatic intros, some ripped from other games and others are completely custom made for this mod. It's honestly pretty cool, although I will say that some people do not deserve certain dramatic intros. Some characters now have new movesets, and when I mean new movesets, I mean they just gave them another character's moveset from a different game. But it is appreciated that it is different from the vanilla game, I'll give it that. Even Majima got a bit of a moveset overhaul. Sometimes when you get him in a random encounter in his Mad Dog style, he's actually using Soma's moveset from Lost Judgment. Is it weird? Yes, but it's very appreciated that they actually gave Majima a different moveset depending on the situation. I was playing on New Game Plus, so I didn't get to see all of what they changed from Majima Everywhere, but I definitely will do that in the future. Some characters even have a feel the heat moment like Hayashi. You get to beat him down in the same way you do in Yakuza 2, and it's still so satisfying. There's a few things I want to highlight that really surprised me about this mod. First off, the Nishikiyama family fight in the abandoned building. It is much longer than it is in the original game and in Kiwami. Not only that, but when you make it to Arase, turns out he has a second phase, which caught me by complete surprise. Then when we get to the riot at the final chapter of the game, it comes with its very own custom-made sequence that wasn't in the original game. It's honestly really freaking cool. And then for the second phase of the riot fight, Kazuki and Yuya actually join you. Having them join in the fight was such a neat addition, and it kind of shows how much their friendship has grown since they've met. Especially knowing how these three will bond together in later games, it just feels nice. And then the final thing, the Nishikiyama fight. Now in Vanilla Kiwami, Nishiki is a very, very easy boss. He has the emotional weight, but in terms of actually fighting him, he's one of the weaker final bosses in the series. Exactions Kiwami buffed Nishiki to a degree that I was not prepared for. He got a moveset revamp like everyone else, borrowing moves from characters like Shishido, Daigo, Joji, and a little bit of Kawana. He has 3 phases where he swaps through these movesets, and for his final phase, he actually heals himself like Mine does in Yakuza 3. And it's this final phase that's really scary because he actually has the parry move that Kiryu gets from his legend style in Yakuza 0. Much like in Yakuza 0, it does have some hitbox issues, but when it hits, man does it hurt. He actually put me on the ropes quite a bit where I had to use a lot of healing items because I was trying to do this with all dragon style because I thought Nishiki was going to be mostly the same, but I was wrong, and I was glad to be wrong. My favorite part of this boss fight is that it has an added sequence where they show a bunch of Kiryu and Nishiki cutscenes from Yakuza 0 to really drive in their friendship, and I'm just shocked that they didn't do this in Vanilla Kiwami because this would make that fight hit even harder than it already does. This mod turned an underwhelming final boss in the vanilla game to practically my favorite final boss in the entire series, and I'm not kidding. If you haven't done so already, please play Exactions Kiwami. This is probably the best modding experience you can have for Yakuza Kiwami, and it makes this game feel so much more complete. Some of the stuff added here actually makes me wish it was in the actual Kiwami. I don't think I can go back to playing Vanilla Kiwami because of how good this mod is. So please, give it a shot. You won't be disappointed.